Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Cortez. I was the writer, director, and I guess the star of this film, Crazy Random Happenstance, the movie. Um, I know this might be an awkward footing to get off on, but this is actually the least favorite film I have made. But I still love it or like it or give care to it because, as with all art, one must care for even the ones that uh, they don't really care as much of. That being said, I did learn a lot from this, but I guess we'll get into that as we go in later. Basically, this movie, for those of you who maybe have seen it and are clicking the commentary and are like, what the hell is this? Or you click the commentary and you're like, what the hell is this? Or you just don't know what the hell is going on. I had a YouTube channel, well, it's still a channel called CR Happen. And in its earliest inception, it was a YouTube comedy channel. And I basically would come up with like sketches or ideas or funny stuff, and I told myself that for the 100th episode I was going to make a mini movie, and that it would be kind of like a send off to the comedic aspect of the channel, and that after that I would do something else, which I did. I began doing more video game related stuff, and right now I'm kind of like just doing a one last series I want to do, and then after that, pretty much I'm gonna put it to kaputs, with the exception of movies I release. But this was essentially like a love letter that I wrote to everyone that would watch this because during those first 100 episodes, I did have people who were watching my channel who were, uh, leaving comments, who were like really engaged in it, and it was so cool. It was like something that I clearly can't do as well now as a 32-year-old man who does this kind of like as a fun hobby kind of thing. But back then, it was something that you were able to do, and back then would be the year 2012 when this project was released. But yeah, so I was at the time I was a quote unquote retired filmmaker, and I told myself I wasn't really gonna do films anymore. I just kind of thought that Roommates the movie experience was the highest I could go, which was very silly thinking. And I only made this movie as a thank you to people who supported my channel. So it was kind of like me coming out of retirement to do that. And then a few years later, my wife, who is right there, would very happily kind of tell me, you could still make movies and art projects and all this stuff as long as we just get the stupid adult stuff out of the way. Just because you're done with school doesn't mean that you're not gonna have time to do stuff like this. And I was like, my God, she is right. What the hell was I thinking? And I kept making movies, but at the time, this was just kind of like, well, I'm out of retirement, I'm doing this. This was a very interesting film because there's only three actors in it. There's myself, my sister, and my then fiance, now wife, Rebecca. And another thing was we filmed entirely at nighttime. So I had the entire house to myself to make this movie. So it was really cool because I got to make this movie the way I wanted, with the people I wanted, in whatever way I wanted, with absolutely no interruptions, which was really cool. And this was actually also the last movie I would film in my parents' house, which is why I included in these bonus features, which you could see in the playlist or just on my channel. There's a documentary um, called My Parents' House, which kind of talks about all the movies I made in my parents' house, including this one. But so yeah, it was kind of an interesting way to make a movie. And coming off of 2 years ago, 2 years prior to this movie, coming off of the roommates film, uh, it was very different. Roommates had, like so many people, and was kind of a big movie, and this was a much smaller movie. With a small cast and kind of like a small idea. Um, so that's something I do appreciate about this. Why this is my worst, or not my worst movie? That's subjective, but why I feel this is the movie I hate the most. This movie just I feel lacks a soul, for a lack of better phrase. All my movies that I made because there was an idea that sparked in me that I thought, oh my god, this would be so cool to do, or there was just something that a cool idea for a film that I had. This movie was kind of like constructed completely on the idea of let me give a thank you, um, to people that watched it. That being said, if people enjoyed watching this, or if people actually like this movie, that's fantastic. I'm happy. If I could ever bring joy to anyone or entertainment in anything that I make, that's great. But me as Chris, the director, Chris, the actor, Chris, the writer, I look at this and I'm like, ugh, why bother? Like this is something I would never film now or create now because I wouldn't want to go through the effort to do something that I feel like anyone can do, or just something that doesn't have like a hook to it that you know um, connects me as much. Like my latest film, The French Assassin with a Bad Comb Over. That's a movie that um, kind of like hooked me in because I just think it's a really funny idea to put my friends in fake bad hairpiece wigs and mustaches and have them do badass stuff, and look ridiculous doing it. And also, it's just the title alone, like it's just one big joke. That movie. This is just I don't know what this is. I really don't. It's me harkening back to some of the episodes I did. It's me. Um, kind of just playing all these people. That being said, I have to say something that I haven't said once. I'm almost 8 minutes into this commentary, and I haven't mentioned this. My sister Lena and my wife do such a great job in this movie. They are, in my opinion, what makes this watchable. Um, so I feel like any enjoyment done in this was them. They were fantastic. They were like at a moment's notice would be like, yeah, sure, let's make it. Would never say, why the fuck are you doing this? They'd be like, oh, okay, I fight Darth Vader now. Spider Man is here. Um, they were wonderful, and really made this so much better than I think it would have been if they weren't in it. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of where I'm coming at. I guess from this is that I don't know. I just feel like it's no one. If you sat down and showed this to people and they had not seen anything from my YouTube channel, I think like 5 minutes in, they're gonna kind of like turn off and say no, and. But yeah, it was a different time. Another thing I didn't mention, we shot this all at nighttime because I was actually interning at a high school, because I was in master school back when I thought my profession would entail assisting children as a school counselor, and so the only time I had really, aside from the weekend, was shooting this during the weekdays and nighttime, and I it was one of those things where I'm like, I'd rather just shoot this at night so I would have more days to do, because it was back then we were younger then. I mean, I was good lord, 20 something, maybe 25 when I made this. I'm 32 going on 33 right now. And so we were all just kind of together in the house and living together. So it was really easy to, get people to meet up for filming and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, so I guess I'll talk the idea of this. Yeah, I just thought the when I started the YouTube channel, I broke it down into like each 25 episodes. So like the first 25 episodes, I considered like part one, of the comedic channel, and then the next 25, so up to 50, I was like, okay, this is part two, and so making it to 100, if I did, I would be at a crossroad. I'd either uh, stop doing comedy stuff, and this would be kind of like the big last comedic stuff, aside from any short films I might release, or B, I would kind of go back and forth. And I like struggled to get. I think like I started really running out of steam around the 85th video, and I was like, oh man, what do I do? How do I like get to um, 100? And I kept going. I kept coming up with other ideas, and I definitely discarded a lot of other ideas. And when I got to 100, I knew it was going to be kind of like a best of type of thing, where fictional Chris would revisit all these things that he would do, and it'd be like one crazy night kind of thing. So that explained the nighttime scenario, and like we all kind of look the same throughout the whole movie. I think continuity wise, everything really works out. I hate that I ducked there. You can see that. Um, Also, oh my god, this was the last movie I created in Final Cut Express, because when I bought Final Cut Express, when I got my laptop in 20, oh, good lord, not 13, 2008, I think. I had Final Cut Express because I had a laptop, and Final Cut Express basically came with three codes. It came with um, a code that you put in when you install, and then two other codes. So if you switch to different computers, you could install, and everything would be fine. Like you could just continue your stuff. So my uncle, I did him a colossal favor, and I literally gave him. I'm like, here, man, here's a free code, uh, Final Cut Express, because he's in the acting field, and he wanted to have a program to be able to edit audition videos and whatnot, or anything else he had to edit. So I gave him that as a token or whatever, or like a favor. And my wife, of course, was making YouTube videos and all this stuff around this time, like majorly, and so she needed a video editing software as well. So I gave it to her. So I was out of code. So this was the last one I made on here, because shortly after, I think I would upgrade to a MacBook. I'm no, an iMac. And when I transferred my stuff over, it did transfer Final Cut Express, but it said, "Hey, where's your code?" And I'm like, I don't have any more codes, and so it wouldn't let me use it. So the next movie I believe would be, oh god, what was it? It was Bachelor Party in 2015, and that would be the first movie that I would make in in iMovie, which is what I use now. I use iMovie for all my movies going forward. So yeah, this was the last movie I made on Final Cut. Which, good lord, I don't even remember how to use that. If I were to have, if there was a quiz right now of, hey man, use Final Cut, I would not be able to help you, because it's been years, man. It's been like almost 10 years, very close to 10 years that I've used it. And it's changed because my wife uses it, and I've seen it, and I'm like, I don't understand that. Um, but yeah, so this was the last one on there. And I don't think I cared, because I was in my quote-unquote self-retirement at the time. So I'm like, oh, whatever, like, I'll do what I do. There I go, maybe it's Maybelline, after sniffing my sister's hair implying that she's wearing a hair product. But the funny thing is, Maybelline is makeup. It's not hair, so it makes no sense at all. But my character is drunk, so you know. And yeah, the drunk character was kind of a push, but that was because I had uploaded. We did a. I remember we had two YouTube channels. We had Crazy Random Happenstance and we had Daily Random Happenstance. And in Crazy Random Happenstance, we did a crossover where I think we did like it was that we went to like a party or something. So we did like the pre-party on Daily Random Happenstance. Like, hey man, we're it was our way of trying to like get people to move over to see our happen and check that out and stuff like that. Because there's some people that only wanted Daily Random Happenstance and didn't care much about the crazy. And so I think we had like the pre-party, like everything up to the party on Daily Random, and then we're like, hey, you guys want to see the party? Gotta go to Crazy Random Happenstance. And then I posted an edited video of me doing that. Um, so that was kind of like the push. I feel in the I always say that all my movies are set in the same universe, which they are since my very first movie in 2003 to The French Assassin that I've released at the time of this recording in 2020. All my movies are set in the same universe, but some of them are movies within movies. So, and this film is one of those movies. Crazy Random Happenstance, the movie, is a movie within the universe. So basically, like the French assassin could theoretically watch this movie. If he went to YouTube and typed in "crazy random happenstance," this would pop up, and he would be like, "Oh, oui, the crazy random happenstance." But I don't think he would watch this as the creator of that character. I think he would probably watch something with Jean Reno. Um, oh boy, we're reaching the last kind of minute here. All right, I guess I'll start saying my goodbyes in this movie. Crazy Random Happenstance, the movie. It's kind of, even though it is my least favorite film, it's an important movie for me because it was the movie that I made in between uh, Roommates the Movie Experience and its true successor, Bachelor Party, that kind of like, you know, helped me continue filming stuff and making things and not, experimenting and all this stuff. It's also the second movie I shot in HD. I just realized this. And again, a great big amount of thanks to my sister, Lena, and my wife, Rebecca, for doing such a great job in this. And to anyone who watched this, and just gave me a chance, anything like that. Thank you so much for watching this, or just even if it's the audio commentary or the film itself, or even if you watched this way back when in 2012. Thank you. And I hope it was enjoyed. And yeah, I guess we'll end here with this silly thing. Look at that horrible effect. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for future videos. Take care.